Hey, so I got a quick message for you. So the first card that came out was the High Priestess. Your intuition is definitely guiding you to save money or get your finances in order or start planning, okay, for some type of opportunity that's coming your way. Okay, so it's giving like a business opportunity. Yeah, with this Page of Pentacles, you're being called to prepare by being very goal oriented, very ambitious, and then also like make sure you're carefully planning, even when it comes to like having a good sleep schedule, planning your day, especially if you have responsibilities, like if you have children or something. Okay, because whatever's coming towards you, it is a new beginning. Okay, you are being ushered into a new cycle of your life as to where you are going to be very busy. Okay, you're gonna have a lot on your plate. And it's not even in a bad way. Like, it's in the best way possible. But you're being called to really manage your energy, manage your time, making sure that you are taking this time out to have self-care. You are going to have to carve out time for yourself to even rest. Okay? What else, Holy Spirit? Yeah, this is literally just clarifying what I said. Like, you managing your time, you making sure that you're focused, finding a balance when it comes to your life. That is the way to be defensive against feeling like you're overloaded and like waiting until your schedule is fully jam-packed. Okay, so you're definitely being called to really balance. Okay, clarify this Two of Pentacles. Yeah, I clarified it. Page of Swords. So you're also being called to like really, like, you're gonna have a lot of new ideas come your way. Like, maybe there's a lot of things that you are curious in doing. Okay, make sure that you're actually planning. Okay, these new ideas that you have, these business ideas and things of that nature, make sure you're actually planning for it. Okay, actually writing it down. Like, even if you're like, maybe you can't get a business loan or something, maybe you're working on your credit or something, I don't fucking know, but definitely write out a business plan. Get a little notebook, have that notebook with your ideas and things like that. And that is also a good way to manifest what you want to come in faster and faster. Okay, and you're also being called to be kind and be compassionate towards yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. Okay, nobody is perfect. So even if you're going out to start something new, it might not be perfect. You might have to grind a little bit for you to be able to see the success or to see the recognition or whatever the fuck that you actually want. Okay, but even if something just doesn't start taking off like as soon as you start to do it, you have to have faith in yourself. Okay, because it doesn't happen like that for all people. Like, some people, yeah, they might start a business and get a whole bunch of customers. And then some people, it might take a couple of weeks. It might take a couple of months. And then for others, it might take a couple of years. But as long as you're believing in yourself, it's not going to fail. Okay, the only time when failure is guaranteed is when you quit, or even if you don't even take the first step for fear of not wanting to put that work in. Okay, because when you have things that you're working towards and you really put in that work in, and you know that you're being genuine, you know that you're passionate about it, it's not going to fail. Failure is not an option when it comes to something that you're passionate about. Okay, it's destined to succeed. Okay, and you got to have that faith. All right, with this World card, you're definitely being called to really focus on the things that fulfill you. Yeah, because you might be just focusing on the shit that you don't have. You feel me? You're focused on the relationships that went sour. But you got to focus on the new that's coming in, okay? Focus on the good things, okay? Like, literally, you're transforming right now. You are transforming. It's death to the old you. You have definitely gone through a rebirth. You are not the same person that you were in the past. But what you also need to do is make peace with who you were in the past. Okay, because whoever you were in the past set you up for where you are now. So release those regrets, release that self-doubt, release that, because it is an outdated mindset and it doesn't resonate with the frequency that you're on now, which is why it could kind of like manifest as anxiety or fears towards starting these new things you want to start. Okay, because you're rewiring your brain and you're switching your brain up to actually support this season of joy, because there's going to be a lot of times, especially when you grinding, especially when you working towards things, right? And there might not be a lot of individuals that believe in it at first, but listen, once you start like gaining traction in what you're doing, they always spin back around. So stop worrying about who's gonna support you. Stop worrying about it, because when you're doing something that is from the heart, when you're doing something that is passionate, the individuals that are meant to understand you will. It's like that saying, if you get it, you get it. Okay, and those are gonna be members of your soul tribe. All right, what else they need to know? Yeah, so you probably had issues as to where you gave so much of yourself, right? And it's like you gave to individuals that had broken dreams. You were giving to individuals that were envious of you, that were very immature. Okay, so make peace with that. Okay, because everything that you gave away that was stolen or whatever, it's all gonna come back tenfold. So just release that. Okay, it is what it is. Okay, you love somebody that didn't love you back. Tough titty. The next individual that you love is gonna love you back. Okay, but yeah, because it's like, through you remaining consistent with being harmonious with your higher self, you remaining consistent with your self-love practices, with all the goals that you're making and demolishing, you know what I'm saying? That is leading to a lot to come in for you. But when it comes to this harmony, you're being called to really focus on shifting into a more positive mindset. Okay, because the more that you're being optimistic is the more that you're calling in these blessings that are destined to come to you. Okay, but it's definitely a feeling of like emotional fulfillment. Okay, nobody is perfect. Everyone has like some type of insecurity, but you're being called to learn how to, like, yeah, you might have something that you're insecure about, but don't be cruel to yourself. Okay, because there is beauty in all of the flaws that you have, and you're gonna meet individuals that, like, they appreciate that. Okay, because no one is perfect. If you met someone that was perfect, you would probably think they're weird, or you would probably be scared, because it'll probably seem like a robot or something. You know what I'm saying? You're relatable because you're not perfect, because you're not holding up a facade as if there's like nothing wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're very relatable, and somebody's really you're being hard on yourself. Like, the Most High wants you to celebrate yourself. Okay, the small things, the big things, the in-between things. You are doing an amazing job. Okay, there are a lot of individuals that haven't made it as far as you have. Okay, celebrate yourself for that. Okay, maybe you had issues with your weight and you actually went to the gym. Celebrate yourself. Even if you only went to the gym for 10 minutes, that is 10 minutes of calories being burned that you probably wouldn't have had the energy to do that 10 minutes a year ago, 2 weeks ago, 2 years ago, whatever. Okay, so you have to celebrate these things in yourself, and that's also going to help you to feel more balanced. Okay, because someone is definitely, you're very like overcritical of yourself, and also you could also do like some inner child healing, because you probably had like a parental figure or something as you were growing up that was extremely hard on you, and they probably had like a perfectionism, and they projected that onto you, and that is most likely why in adulthood you're having these feelings about yourself. Okay, but that's nothing that can't be fixed. All right, but you got to be a little bit easier on yourself. Okay, because whoever I'm talking to, you're very strong. Okay, you have a very strong spirit. Okay, and you have overcame a lot. Okay, maybe you got to do a little bit of reflection, okay, of all the situations that you got you out of. Okay, all the times when you could have crumbled and you didn't. And then you also have to look at yourself in the mirror and see how beautiful you are, regardless of those flaws. Because sometimes we tend to look in the mirror, right? And as we look in the mirror, we're instantly looking for something that's wrong. How about you start looking in that mirror and look for everything that's right? Okay, that is going to help to shift your reality and shift that mindset. Okay, because when you're being so hard on yourself and you don't see the beauty that is within you, it becomes an illusion. Okay, that is also a toxic cycle, and those are things that are projected onto us from childhood. That thing you're insecure about, you probably had an adult that you looked up to in your childhood that was very mean about that same thing, and it's not even that deep. Okay? Because there are individuals around you that see the beauty that is within you, whether it's your personality, whether it's something physically on your body, whether it's your intelligence, okay? But there are individuals that see that beauty that is within you. They see that light that is within you, and you should be able to see that within yourself. Regardless if somebody else is saying something about it. If you put on an outfit and you know you look good in that outfit, when you walk outside, even if nobody tell you that you look good in that outfit, you still walking with your head up high because you know you look good. That's the energy that you should have regardless. Regardless, whether you got makeup on or not, whether you got the lashes, whether you got the nails, whether you got the retwist, okay? You still have to realize how beautiful you are, okay? And how worthy of love you are as the wearer. You can pour love into yourself. Okay, somebody's really being called to really take this time to nurture yourself and pour into yourself, to heal that inner child wound. Okay. Yeah, like somebody dealt with the King of Swords in reverse type of figure in their life, okay? And this individual, they were stuck under a lot of illusions. They had a lot of fears, and you know, they were very hard on you, and there was deception because you were deceived into thinking that you weren't amazing exactly how you were. Okay, there's always room for improvement. But you are still amazing in the now, and you'll continue to make improvements to become even better. But the starting point is still pretty great. Okay, so you have to acknowledge that about yourself. Closing messages, Holy Spirit. Literally. Embody this Queen of Wands energy as to where you're confident, knowing that you're attractive. Like, literally. And if you're like... pretty much this keeps coming up in my readings, but I'm gonna say it again. What's your favorite color? Whatever your favorite color is, wear that color, because that's the color that makes you feel good. Wear that. Okay? If there's things that you like to do, things that you like to wear that make you feel beautiful, do that. Okay? Maybe you have an outfit that is like, oh, it's too cold outside, I can't wear that outside. Wear it around the house. Okay, if you a female that, you know, you wear heels and, you know, you really don't want to wear no heels to go nowhere. Maybe you don't have nowhere you want to go wear the heels at. Wear them in the house. Play some music and dance in the mirror. Get to know yourself, okay? Start nurturing this sensual, passionate relationship with yourself again, okay? That is the form of pouring into yourself. Doing those self-love affirmations. Telling yourself, I am beautiful. I am loved. I am worthy of divine love. I am intelligent. I am divinely protected by the Most High. I deserve the best. Tell yourself that. Okay? Tell yourself that. Because I'm talking to somebody that's very attractive. You're a social butterfly. People love to talk to you. There's individuals that love to talk to you. They love to hear you talk. They love to look at you. Even if you're just sitting down, scrolling on your phone or something. I don't fucking know. Reading a book or some shit. People just be looking at you like, oh. You got to be able to see yourself in that light as well. All right? Because you are beautiful. And you deserve to see yourself in that light. All right? So definitely focus on doing self-love. Okay? Practice a lot of self-love. Do some self-love affirmations. You know, do things that make you feel good, that make you feel beautiful. Okay? Drink some tea. Tea also helps to ground your energy. Like peppermint tea, chamomile tea. Like definitely do things like that. And then I'm also being called to tell somebody to buy a plant. Okay? You could get any plant. But get a plant that, that will help to open up your space. Cleanse your space, and also to keep you grounded, because every time you water that plant, think about all the times that you're gonna water yourself. Okay? Because this is a healing journey, and this is a process. Okay? A lot of people like to manifest abundance and manifest love to come in, but how about we start? The starting point is self-love. All right? You got this. If this resonated, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Continue to live in love and light. Bye.